Hey, Boy Manning here. Welcome to the Garden Report. Celtics 116, 100 winners, thanks in largest part.
Huge win.
And it showed out on the plus-minus board. Sometimes it's deceiving with that Tatum minus 36. But on this one, I think plus 21 spoke well to Robert Williams' impact. Plays nearly the whole fourth quarter after Al Horford runs into foul trouble and defensive lapses in that third quarter. They go smaller. They close out wing heavy with one big shot blocker, offensive rebounder, and disruptive force out there in Robert Williams. He's chasing down those missed shots. He's on the ground on that critical play that followed out Draymond Green. Ended up shaking up Steph Curry, the whole scramble in that fourth quarter, and I think it's a good way to describe that fourth quarter. Robert Williams was everywhere.
Well, yeah, you don't want to talk about someone getting hurt, but I hear what you're saying. That's what happens when that scrappiness is happening in between two teams that have really just been thinking that this was the game that they can really grab that momentum going into Game 4. And the Celtics did a really good job of holding on to it. Obviously, they succumbed to that lead that they had, but Robert Williams had a huge impact in this fourth quarter. The fact that he didn't play 30 minutes, I felt like was almost a gift if you're the Celtics, because maybe he runs out of gas towards the end, maybe he's running on fumes at that point, but whatever it was huge for the Celtics because you had the block on Steph Curry, you had the stop that you really needed to have down the stretch to really build that cushion, that double-digit lead that ballooned to 16 at the end of this one, but you also had the offensive impact, the alley-oop option, guys like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum becoming those respectful playmakers that I thought that the Celtics needed them to be, and especially someone like Jaylen Brown picking his time to attack, and Robert Williams, running the floor as well offensively, as well as stringing together those defensive stops. It made all the difference in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, definitely, and he was well composed. I thought Ime made a pretty good decision. He said there were going to be lineup changes, rotation changes, and the big one was Rob doing short 3-minute stints to start each half, coming out for most of the first quarter as well as the third, well rested and ready to roll for basically the whole fourth quarter there, as I said. He was in a great position to succeed in this one. Didn't come off the bench, didn't really need to because they staggered the bigs and went smaller at times. And that lineup to start the second, I believe it was, with Pritchard, Tatum, Grant, some others out there, I thought was awesome just with the spacing that was available to them. And then to close this game, you have spacing, you have defense, you have rim protection. Rob basically blocked Curry in the front row on one of those plays when he got downhill. And I feel like they were able to attack Al in that third quarter by sending him around screens and making him come up. Obviously, they got the 7-point play on him by him coming too far up on Curry. Rob, Poole got him, running him around in the paint there. But when Curry tried to attack Rob head on, he got cut off, and he actually hit a really hard three in that left wing when Rob cut him off, and Grant was still contesting him hard, but hit a little leaner against him there. And that was the only shot Curry hit in that fourth quarter with Rob out there.
I think it's a testament, again, to the defense and also from a performance from Grant Williams, who I thought that this was by far his best performance of the series. I mean,
big offensive rebounds from both of them.
Right. Both of them had, 3 offensive boards. They're both producing points off of those second chance opportunities, obviously. But also, I mean, with the switching and with the physicality down low, I thought it was really important for Grant Williams to make his presence felt in this game. A lot was talk was made, obviously, about what Draymond Green has been doing, his influence in this series, the back and forth that he had with Grant Williams. I mean, there's no coincidence that Draymond was also bringing that up again at Media Day here in Boston the day before Game 3. So I thought it was really important for Grant Williams to just go out there, give the Celtics a good performance, something that they can that you hope will carry over into Game 4. And he did it in a big way, I thought, especially when the Celtics really needed him in that fourth quarter. I really wouldn't be surprised if we don't see that lineup again, moving forward. Maybe in Game 5, that's something that we definitely see with another day in between. That's really been a big difference for Rob Williams. I asked him about it after this game. He said that, that extra day makes a huge difference.
Well, it's switching to one day now. For Game 4.
Right, for Game 4. But no, I'm saying, moving ahead, though, I think that's a lineup that I think you could see again in Game 5. Not to say that to count Rob out altogether for Game 4 here at TD Garden, but I just think we're going to see a similar version to what we saw in Game 3. Hopefully,
really?
Hopefully you're able to see, well, not in Game 4, I'm saying in Game 5. But hopefully in Game 4, he's able to give you something, but I just can't realistically think that he'll be able to duplicate what we saw in Game 3. I think that knee is going to really bother him. He played almost 30 minutes in this one, so the quick turnaround I think is not going to bode well for him. But again, what you're seeing from Grant Williams, that's a sign of positivity. Maybe we see that big game from Grant. Maybe we see the Milwaukee Bucks version of Grant Williams when he went up against Giannis to score 20 points. Who knows? I think this series could turn into seeing a guy like that come off the bench for the Celtics and giving you a big performance. Maybe we see that in Game 4 from Grant.
As for Rob, getting around the clock treatment every day, he's day to day because he's not practicing. He's not in shoot around. They're basically giving him these days off to stay off his feet, and he warms up. He does the stretching he needs. He kind of reacts to how he feels throughout the day, and then they get a feel not too long before game time, and it's been up and down. Game 1, similar to tonight, 3 blocks, effective, springy. Game 2, barely able to play.
That's fresh Rob. Game 1, obviously he had the most rest you're gonna get, heading in between series. The fact that Celtics were coming off of Game 7, obviously that played a big part. But then again, he talked about it, that extra day in between Games 2 and 3. So we'll see what happens in Game 5. Not to look way ahead, but keep an eye on Rob, obviously, but also look out for Grant, I think.
Yeah, and that seesaw of the series, I think that's a big factor in how this has gone back and forth and could continue to all the way through a 7 here. Rob's health, major swing factor in this series. I wrote that for Celtics blog between Games 2 and 3, and came to fruition in a big way here, the upside of that. Draymond Green, too. We'll talk about him in our next video. The way he's officiated, I think, is going to be another seesaw factor in this series as well, and it went against the Warriors in this one, so we'll talk about that. Josue Pavon by Manning. We're brought to you by HelloFresh, HelloFresh.com/playoff16. 16 free meals, that's a ton. Definitely all the way into the summertime, into the 4th of July even at this point, the way this postseason is stretching on. And 3 free gifts. Go get those. Laid out ingredients, fresh ingredients. It's all there with instructions. So HelloFresh.com/playoff16. Huge opportunity for you and a big help to the Garden Report. Appreciate you all. Check out Celtics All Access for more coverage from the Celtics 116-100 win, as well as CLNSmedia.com.